What Black Rob say? Whoa. Yeah, who's that peeping in my window? Now that ain't Black Rob. That's good in my. But you already know it's the Southern flow. We about to flow. Let's go. Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Loomis Brinks.
What's good? It's your boy Trey B.
And you know we back with another one together. We make the Southern Flow podcast. As always, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Just Relax, Art Folk, CD5 Films, Gum. We in the building. And I'm going to jump into our Southern Flow legends. I have an interesting Southern Flow legend today, man. She goes by the name Michelle Browder. I hope I'm not torturing her name, but Michelle Browder, she's out of Montgomery. She's an artist and activist, again, from Montgomery, who's changing the way we remember history. She created the Mothers of Gynecology Monument to honor the women who were experimented on and never got their credit. So through her work, you know, tours and programs, she's teaching the youth and building something real for the community, you know. So she's not just making art, she's making an impact.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to get Michelle Browder, y'all. Yeah.
Oh, man, shout out to her, man. Since you said making an impact, bro, I'm gonna get some local Southern Flow legends. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of them. Southern Flow legend, Floyd Griffin, you know, Coach Griffin, Roy Dawkins, Janaski Fleming,
yes, sir,
and LeBron Stewart, man. I just want to give it, you know, them all the men I feel like had an impact on my life coming up, man, as a youth in the city, man. You know, them the ones I want to give a shout out to, my Southern Flow legends, man. If they watching, you know, I appreciate you. I know my boy will appreciate you, so you know what I'm saying?
Man, for
sure, them my Southern Flow legends, man. We got another one though in the building though. If they don't, you know, they don't see it, man. A Circle City legend, a Southern Flow legend himself, man. We got Marquez White in the building, man. For sure, man.
So I wanted to say that, you know, my introduction was, you know, this guy wears many hats. He's the king of the wings, Mr. Goat Wingz himself. Yeah. And we appreciate you for being on the podcast, Quez, man.
Appreciate you, my guy.
So dope. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
We good, man.
Yeah.
Here with the guy, see
Hey.
behind the camera.
For sure, bro.
Trey B, Mr. Brinks. Appreciate y'all for having me on tonight.
Hey, it's a pleasure,
Good
man.
little vibe.
Been trying to get him in here for a few weeks now, but hey, we got him, man. You know, we finna get this build.
You know, everything line up, bro. You know, it happens. It all happens organically, man. And you know, I told Quez I had always been just watching the movement, seeing how things was happening with the Goat Wingz, the branding, super dope, man. So to get into the bill, Marquez, like, bro, where was the start? Like from high school coming into your senior year, did you already have that anticipation? Like, how did that work in terms of like from transitioning from high school going into college, which was Florida State?
It was a cool transition, man. Just thinking back, really just loving ball, just in general. That really being my outlet. Wanting to go to college, wanting to get out of Dothan, wanting to see different than I've seen, and being able to experience different than I had been going through. So up until as far as the process, it was pretty smooth. I think things really picked up. I was getting recruited as far as recruited. All through high school, various schools, but I was really sold on basketball, and I was sold on that until we got Coach Stewart as a new coach, because we struggled, man. We always had the athletes, but I felt like as far as between the two high schools, Dothan High had what we needed, and we had what Dothan High needed. Whether that was the skill guys and linemen, just kind of what they doing now. We had the opportunity
to do that
kind of
back
tell them
then,
what we've been able to do. With this, win state championships, get more kids in school, get more guys in school, stuff like that. But as far as the process, really, what I do remember the most about the process is being anxious. That it was people out there better than me, and I had to work.
For sure.
And I think anybody that's been around me. You know, I'll say I was a clown. I was pretty cool, pretty chill, laid
It
back.
was a pretty chill.
Yeah.
Wild, bro, wild, man.
Really
Got
kind
some
of
wild
unpredictable on
stories,
some
man.
stuff, but when it came to like ball and working, man, I really, really loved that shit.
For
real.
sure, Bill. I knew you were cold, bro. You probably don't even remember this. I remember I seen you. We was in the gym, and I think I don't know. It was just like one of them free days, bro. We just everybody just in the gym. Bro had on some shades, some dark shades, like the blackout shade, like the Lokes, the old school black shades, out there hooping and getting buckets, bro, in the gym during the daytime. So when I seen he was doing that, I was like, yeah,
Probably
bro,
was feeling
cold,
good,
bro,
man.
bro, cold, bro.
Probably was feeling
For
good,
sure, bro.
high school days, but
So you were putting in the work. So tell me the transition from like going to Florida State, and then how does that work in terms of like knowing whether or not you're going to the NFL or not? Or is that something you find out?
So you kind of do get a feel for it. Coaches will talk to you, talk to scouts. You know, you got agents kind of in your ear at that time, which is totally different than what it is now. Versus you got the NIL now. Right. Really no rules in college football,
and nothing off
now,
limits,
which is
man.
good for the players, bad for the players, good for the coaches.
Yeah.
It's a give and take. That's how it is with anything. But really, because you know I dual sported at Florida State, so I played basketball and football my freshman year. Fun fact: only athlete in school history outside of Charlie Ward to play in a ACC championship game and a NCAA tournament game.
That's
a
dope.
fact. So that's like a little fun fact. Goat shit, respectfully. But once I really honed in on football, because we won the freshman my natty year. We won the national championship my freshman year. At Florida State.
In
Yeah.
football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Football. So we beat Auburn in Pasadena. This was 2013. This is when Nick Marshall was a quarterback from for Auburn. What was the running back they had?
Trey Mason.
Yeah, Trey Mason. So it was back in there. So we had, this is with Jameis Winston. We had all the guys. This
Man, they had an all-star squad, man.
sure.
They had an all-star squad, for sure.
So my freshman year, I played behind me and Jalen Ramsey. We came in the same class. So he was a starter. He was at safety. But I played behind Ronald Darby, which he is with the Texans now. Played behind P.J. Williams and LaMarcus Joyner. They was all Americans.
All NFL draft picks.
All high NFL draft picks. So really getting a chance to be around them, me, PJ, and Darby, and a couple of the guys, we were very, very close, like growing up. So seeing them make it to the league and being kind of like the little brother a little bit, because they was upperclassmen, and feeling like I kind of tried to kind of just follow that same path. So really took it serious going into my junior year. That's when I really started to hone in on my craft. I had a good junior year. Decided to come back to school. I was slated to be like a third, fourth round draft pick my junior year, which those are just numbers and slates. It really don't matter till they actually happen. But we played in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Didn't have the best game. Wanted to come back and prove myself my senior year. So it wasn't that I was never gonna. I didn't feel like I was gonna get an opportunity. It was kind of where I was gonna go. I was gonna be a high round draft pick, mid round, late round, and I think what I struggled with was, for one, just thinking you always gonna have them nerves of getting hurt. Because back then you didn't have the financial security. Like you got guys now making
with the
$500,000, $1 million, like
they good
versus us. Like back then, and we saying back then, this ain't even that long
ago.
Like this 6 years ago.
Five, 6
you get
years
hurt,
ago.
nigga. You feel me? And that's it. So I think I struggle with that. Also, not being focused. For real, having success, having goals, meeting goals, not really having goals after the goals that I set and I accomplished. So I think that kind of followed me from, that was some of the bad habits that followed me from college to the NFL.
So did you have any expectations? Like did you have, when you get in the NFL, like did you like oh, this is how life finna be? Like,
so I would say that it is what it's hyped up to be. Like all the things that come with it, like it's real things. Like, so the stuff that you hear about the lifestyle, those things are true. But when you say that I have expectations, I'm gonna say no, which is a bad thing, because I expected to get to the NFL. I expected to have that success, but when I think about it, I didn't have any goals of being, do I want to be an all pro guy? Do I want to play? Do I want to do this? And I think that's kind of what separated it, because when you good and when you young and you think you good, you think you get more than one chance.
For sure, and there's only one opportunity.
Some people get more than one.
Some people, yeah, but yeah,
you know, you never know when that's your only opportunity, and that's how I kind of treated it.
For sure.
And I think that kind of led to some of the things that I dealt with.
I can kind of relate to that though, cause like you say, when you just growing up playing ball, it seems like it's never gonna end. Like you've been doing it for so long, it's like you don't think about the day when that's gonna be your last time putting them pads on or putting them cleats on. I've been doing this since 7, 8, 9 years old. This is all I know, so I ain't thinking about when it's gonna be my last time putting them pads on. So I definitely relate to that, cause I had struggles, leaving the game, playing a little college ball myself. And then, dropping out of college and coming back home being like, bruh, like, what now? Right. That's all I know. Now I'm making a big transition in my life. Now I got to get my mind right. I ain't got nobody to talk to that's been really through my situation. Because coming from Dothan, to Circle City, it's rare. Like, I can attest, our class, and he was the head of that, that class 2013. I think we had, like, the most signees ever to come 11. Out the city. At Northview, just by itself, we had like 11 to 15 people signed. Dothan High probably had maybe 8 to 10 people signed. Yeah. That's just in the city alone. And then then the Wiregrass, you got to think of all the people that signed around the Wiregrass.
That's when the coaches was intentional too, though. They was very intentional about getting kids
out of here,
yeah. Trying to, whether it was D1, NIA,
whatever.
Like,
we was gonna get you somewhere.
Get out of here, so try to do something.
And Quez and a few more guys was in the forefront. Pushing that wave, but for us though, like before us, it really wasn't nobody to come back and tell the story like, hey, when you get to college, make sure you do this, make sure you do that.
Never.
When you're going through college, trying to find your way, get on the field. This is what you need to do. Then when it's over and you done playing ball, this what you need to do. But I do feel like you say, with all that being said, it need to be, more guys to come back and like mentor these young athletes or just young men, bro. Because even after, outside of ball, just going through school and then your last day of high school, now it's like, what now? You just used to going through school all your life. You don't know about, getting a job or going to trade school or none of that. So it do, it's a lack of, misinformation being put out.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So, in that note, like, just a sub question in the sense of like we were speaking like the NIL, and I guess like the guy that's dealing with Tennessee now.
Nico.
He's the example. He's the example for all of this now in terms of just like I don't think anyone really knows the story. Some people got a little bit of the details, but it seems like maybe it was a little greed or like, can I get more money?
A lot of it
taken away from the sport in terms of like giving these 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds millions.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it honest. It's hard to keep. You got to think about kids. Now, I don't know how he grew up. I don't know if he grew up.
I was gonna say too.
It
ain't just him too. It ain't just the kids. He might be around the wrong people.
Parents,
and
looking for. I would say, you said, is it ruining the landscape of college football? I think it's good for because the things that we had to do to get money, and we talking about guys that was a few months from being millionaires, like literally broke his, fucked up, couldn't eat, like all types of, we need to get jobs, or we working with the boosters for
sure.
$few, like all type of shit. So, as far as the land, I do think is messing it up, because a lot of guys, I'm gonna speak on my situation. I didn't get millions of dollars, but I got a significant amount of money playing ball, especially playing the league. And for me, never having it before, I got that little bit of money that I got compared to what you get when you play and shit, like, and I was like, cool, like, so it's hard to get guys, and I had always been a dog my whole life. It wasn't even about working, like, or it wasn't even about the work, but it's like, dang, I got what I got some bread, like, so is you just go naturally, you just go naturally do that. So think about 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids got $500,000, like, and getting more. Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, how
For sure.
how you go?
And then you got all kind of cousins and
Yeah, come
aunties
on,
and uncles and
everything.
pops, mom coming
Telling
out.
you
Yeah,
the best thing since.
Or got their
white
hand
bread.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's even worse, man.
No type of financial education, no financial literacy. You know, like you said, unless you're coming from that type of family, you know, and especially coming from our community, it's not
Get it.
like the Sanders family. You know what I'm saying? For them to kind of already,
It's more so a reach back and help versus you ahead, stay ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and build from that. Like, so when you say the disconnect with the communities, that's more so our communities. You know, I dealt with it, like, and it'll be family members that see this or whatever. But I mean, things.
it just is what it is.
It is what it is. Like when I was there, and versus now, it's people that my own family members, you know, friends, family, uncles, cousins.
Expectations for you?
Even in a business space now, that when I was in the league, it was, oh, Quez, can you get this TV for me? Can I get these tickets to the game? Can you do this? What? Versus I own a business now, family, friends, cousins. I don't get too specific. Never been in my business, and I own a credible business. Like, and I worked at our craft. We've gotten better, despite what's been said in the past.
Yeah.
So now I know it's not the product for a fact. Cause I've been everywhere. We've been to Chicago, Jacksonville, Atlanta. Anywhere we can put our brand in front of people that don't know me, never seen me before, and literally tell, bro, DeMar DeRozan, when we did the Bulls, swear to God, in my life. He said, bro, these are the top 3 best wings I ever had in my life.
That's dope.
Listen, they ordered, so we did a whole catering for the Bulls. The next day, the team nutritionist texted me and she called me like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was like, hey, DeMar and the guys want to order like 400 more wings because they going to Six Flags a day and they just want to have some for the ride type shit. Solidify. He eat my shit in a Maybach. Literally, Goat Wingz.
That's crazy.
40 piece. And this is when me just being in that space, I ain't never been like a starstruck type person. So it was enough for me to see it. I just need the validation.
That's it.
Stuff like that. I don't need a video. I don't need to post it, which it would be good for my brand, but I needed it for, okay, we got some. Let's work.
Speaking of your business, you know, what inspired you to, for one, to, you know, start Goat Wingz, and for two, you know, like, you've been consistent for you know the past few years. Like, what's keeping you, you know, that drive? Which you know, you just said DeMar DeRozan. That's one you know, just that validation. But just what keep you going with your business, bro? Like, cause that's one thing I salute about you. You probably don't even know. Probably about a month ago, I passed you on South Oaks. You was driving the food truck. I don't know where you were going.
Man,
I said, that's when I realized. I said, yeah, that's it. I said, we got to get bruh now. Bruh driving his own truck, bruh. Yeah, that's motivation in itself, bro.
It ain't no shame, man. What started Goat Wingz? I started Goat Wingz. I was at the lowest place in my life, bro. G shit. Things I had dealt with in the league, like getting cut, having an aggravated assault charge, legal issues, just things that was just outside of my control at the time.
I just want to say that too before you get started, man. You know, when you got cut, when you made it, you know, it felt like we all made it, bro. I mean, if nobody ain't never told you, you know, just playing with you in high school and shit. When they called your name and I was sitting in my room at my crib and I seen his name go across the
was
TV.
Lit that day, bro.
I was like, bro, we made it. I said we made it. I ain't say bro made it. I said we made it, bro. Shit.
We was on the south side at my granddad and the crib when granted that was a crazy day. That was one of the crazy days of my life. Thinking so draft days. Shout out to Jabri Barber. Getting ready for the draft, man. He was in all my camps. As a jet, the camps that I would do in Dothan, so I would come back a different way out.
Different way out.
So bring the guys back, man. Shout out to him doing his thing. But I remember when Jerry Jones called, bro, I was in full tears, not crying because I got drafted, crying because it's the 6th round of the draft. Am I gonna get drafted? Like, what's going on? Because there's a lot of emotion, a lot of politics that go into that. It's only 256 picks, so. That doesn't mean you're not going to get a shot. It's still priority free agents, mini camps, all these other things. But knowing, like, man, it was for this, like you said, it felt like I wanted that for the city.
We made it, bro. We made it that day.
And getting ready to, like, I know Coach Lawrence Darcy, Florida State alum.
Northview alum,
LB, Larry Brackens, Shout out to Siren and Malik, but I mean it's been a few of us, like
For sure.
a handful that's really.
It was personal for me because we played. I was right there. High school right there. So I took that more personal than.
City was lit, man. That was a good day. But
sure.
just getting the opportunity to do it and experience it, definitely was a good thing. But Goat Wingz just really came from wanting to have something that nobody can take from you. For real.
Because when you got cut, I ain't see that coming. I ain't see the food truck coming.
Yeah.
I ain't know where you was gonna go. I was just at least anybody that spoke negative about you getting cut, man. You made it.
That's expected, bro. I mean,
made it, bro.
That's expected.
You made it, bro.
I don't even. Those things are expected. Like that's how people is. People wait for you. Even in my business.
Shit,
now.
they people gonna speak
since
negative.
Legit, bro. I've been getting this shit since 7th grade. Legit.
You know how
legit.
some coaches we had in high school used to talk.
We love
you was
them all,
the
man.
best player on the team, but
I think just a big piece, because first, the totality of things, I just wanted an organic conversation. I did like a light, like a light look, in the world of journalism, you're supposed to be well researched. But for me, I just wanted to have an organic conversation, you know what I'm saying? Just to have a great bill. But you talked about like your legal situation. So that was a piece of the transition into entrepreneurship. And so like really you pivoted and it wasn't a loss, it was a lesson. And so that goes back to the guy from who do we say from LSU, the wide receiver,
Kyron Lacy.
Yeah, and so these guys, you have this pressure on your shoulders, and like some people can't pivot, some people don't. It's like I have nothing else. For me, you only 19 years old, bro. You got a lot for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me, that's big and that's inspiring to young boys coming up, and needing that story, like to know, bro, like if you don't get the way, it's always a pivot, it's always another opportunity. You just got to be, it's like it was the phoenix that rose from the dust, bro. So, but so how was that transition though from the league and then going into entrepreneurship?
Man. I was 26, 25. It was a challenge, bro, because I was really, really, really fighting for my freedom. Like going back and forth to Texas to court.
Yeah.
Even when I was in training camp, having to fly from training camp in LA to Texas to go to the hearings, and Texas is different.
The legal system, it's tough.
They talking about like 4 to 10 on the minimum. I ain't shoot nobody. Nothing. Like I literally defended myself. I was in the process of defending myself. I didn't threaten nobody, nothing. But very, 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 like I said, it was one of the lowest parts of my life because I didn't know, and it wasn't like people was reaching out to help or to try to give me advice. It was more so like you said, like, oh, I wanted him to. Yeah. It's finally happened. Like this is. I knew he was gonna fuck it up. Yeah. Type shit like that. So those type of things, and even family, parents, friends, like just a whole bunch of. People change, bro. They really do.
For sure.
They really do. And I know I probably changed a little bit doing it. I mean, rightfully so in some ways, but doing that, but also the food truck being a light because it was something I could be consistent in. Y'all spoke on consistency. I could be consistent in that. You can see the growth. You can see it. You can get the feedback from the customer. So the transition, we go speak deeper on the transition from an athlete to an entrepreneur. Being, you know me, a while, I've always been super competitive. For sure. Very, very competitive. Like to the point where I probably go about it I went about it the wrong way just because I'm super competitive. Like, and not that not in a way like I want to shit on anybody else, anything like that, but I do like being the best, like, or being considered the best. Because who wants to, y'all got a podcast. Y'all want to be the best at what y'all do. Sure. CD behind the camera, he want to be the best at what he do. So
we already saying nobody talking like us, man.
So it ain't no ego or nothing like, bro. That's what we all should want to be, our best versions of ourselves as men, especially. So, man, just I thank God every day. I say a little prayer every day, just because I've been able to do so much off of my little business. When you first start, people like to throw a little around, like your little soul, your little business, your little. And I've been able to take care of my family, other people's families, vacation, buy a home, buy a car, like whatever I need to do with my little business, grow it, put it in spaces that it's never been in. And we only 4 years, almost 5 years in.
Yeah.
We took a small setback this year, but it wasn't a loss. It was definitely a lesson. Things that I won't do again, won't make those same mistakes. And we really, really looking forward to these next few years, really covering some ground with our brand and really trying to get it out there. So where we know, the way I feel like I know what it can be. So Goat Wingz is what I feel like can be a household brand, like a wing stop.
For sure.
It got that potential, we got the catchiness, we got the simplicity with our menu, we got the community aspect, we got the content, we got the look now, we got the appeal, we got the lingo, we got everything. We just waiting for real. And
that consistency gonna do it though, bro. I feel like
bro, I was just talking to
you
CD
been consistent, bro.
before y'all. We was just talking off camera, and I was telling them about. So I've been an entrepreneur 4 years. You do the math, 365 times 4. It ain't been a day in 4 years that I ain't exerted some type of effort and energy into my business. That's almost 1,500 days straight. I'm talking about whether that's posting, cleaning, responding to customers, inventory, anything. And not that I do the workload varies from day to day, but I'm intentional with what I do. Everything, like every post, every picture, every move I make, and I've learned to be like that. And that's where you see your growth.
Came with the time, the effort. Yeah.
It's in the details. Devil in the details. I know that's something simple, but it is the little things.
For sure, bro. That's big. That's amazing, bro. Where you started from and where you done came, bro. For sure. Speaking of posting, though, man, I'm gonna get into it. I know the city want to know, man. They, you on Facebook, some of the people in the city, you like we said, the negative comments and the negative, the back and forth. The city probably want to know, like, man, they kind of feel like, I don't know, cause when I seen it, some of the stuff, when you was going back and forth with customers, I was like, that ain't bruh, man. Bruh didn't talk on the field, bruh didn't talk on the court. But bruh, that's how I knew how serious you was about it though.
Yeah.
Cause that I felt like that wasn't you, bro. And I used to tell, my partners, man, Quiz, we going in on it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, that ain't Quiz, man. It's something deeper than that, bro.
You know what it is?
What was it, bro?
So when you building a business is like a baby.
Yeah.
Like, so you think about somebody attacking your child.
Yeah.
You got kids,
for sure,
buddy?
For sure.
Okay.
Artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit.
It's fuck. I just want anybody, and I don't take it lightly because it's my livelihood at the end of the day. It's something I'm intentional with. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I'm not doing, this is me. And all the hate, all the negativity was unwarranted. So it was never me
doing
anything. It's people finally
you was on defense.
Like, it's finally people feeling like, and I know this now, so I think about it every day. I wish I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't.
Yeah, because that wasn't you, bro.
You can't pay me to say nothing to nobody about nothing negative no more. Like,
because my actions speak louder.
I was trying to figure out, was that you typing who bro around like that? Who telling them to go at, you know what I'm saying?
But that's me though, so that's the competitive. I'm trying to go right at your heart. So it's not, because I'm never the aggressor. So it's like, it's just, okay, cool, now I'm just finna whatever. Don't have no weaknesses. 'Cause I'm going right at your weaknesses.
Yeah, for sure.
But from a business standpoint, very unprofessional. I've grown from that. But like you said, like I was saying, people never really having the opportunity to take a shot at me that always wanted to.
That's the power of social media too. That's one thing social media provide.
Yeah, you feel me? So
that's one thing it can provide. You can talk directly to a person for sure. That you will never say. That you will never say to when you see them in person. No. Yeah,
like an direct way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still that shield in front.
You'll never say this to me when you see me, face to face. But
a lot of them, keep it real. A lot of them people come around now. I still see them. They order through DoorDash. I be in the truck. They may see somebody that order. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I be seeing you for real, but I'm always gonna be professional because that's what it is. That's all. They talked about Jesus. They talked about Martin Luther King. Anybody that's doing anything progressive and compared to people that's not, bro, that's what it is. And you look at the people that were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I go back and I still be doing time checks because they was giving out constructive criticism and stuff like that. For me, I go back and I just see, I would look for their progress, and it don't really be none.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to say nothing. Like, my progress speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Start a business and mind your own, man. That's from the words of Currency. Hey, one of my favorite rappers, Currency, man. You say that, bro.
We get into it.
Well, a lot of times, you know, where people are like lashing out or, you know, being, you know, the derogative or explicit towards another person, it's rare that it warrants it's just cause. A lot of times it's like self-inflicted. You got something going on.
Always though. Always, man. Always.
So how was, like, you know, just like with the league and like you say, you know, the entrepreneurship world, like, were there any things that you took from being in the league that you think like conveyed into like the entrepreneurship?
Everything. They say athletes be the best entrepreneurs, because we natural leaders. So it's and it makes sense. Like, the only thing that I struggle with was in my business was the same thing I struggled with when I was playing ball and having them, because I was a team captain. I was one of the better players. I was always one of the better players on the team, but I struggle with being a vocal leader, because I'm more so like, bro, you see me doing it. Like, you see me, I'm diving for the ball. I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing this. Like, I feel like it could have just been versus me actually telling people. So in my business, I struggle early with delegating. So I will put up with things that I probably shouldn't have. Things that I know I should speak on, I probably didn't speak on. Just not having that, not feeling comfortable, versus now I'm comfortable with what I'm trying to get did, the direction that we headed in. So things get addressed, things get handled, and it's always from a business perspective, because what people don't understand is when things go wrong, they're not blaming employees. They're not coming at the employees. They're attacking. Yeah, so I had to do my part to make sure that I relay that to my people. And I think I've just done a much better job with being that. And that's, you gotta, because I said my marketing was a major, but I never had any business experience. So everything that I was doing was out the hip. So trial and error.
What's your, you know, as we get into the end, what's your message to the youth, man? We've been having a lot of gun violence in the city for the past couple of years. I know you've been aware of it. So
for sure,
what you think? You know,
honestly, bro, I think it's a lack of exposure. I think it's a lack of love in the homes. A lack of accountability. I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't finna do too much, because I know what was gonna happen. I already know. Like, just go ahead and take me to jail, bro. Because I don't need mom, dad, anybody. So I would feel like, and just not wanting to embarrass my family. Like, when I got in that stuff in the league, I think that was what kind of hurt me the most, because like my granddad had to see that. My granddad had never seen me in a space where I wasn't like the little star twinkling in his eye. So he never seen me having to be like, and see him really not knowing, like, damn, I'm fighting for my freedom for real. Like, for real. We going to court. I'm spending all my bread. Like, I'm not knowing what's gonna happen. And just needing that, really needing some love for real. Because a lot of them just be angry, man. You looking at them crashing out on what they like. Macho man issues for real. Yeah, that's really what it is. Coach Saban used that term, macho man. Like, you nobody can say nothing to you. Like, can't say nothing about you. Granted, people go do stuff like that, but as far as the younger generation, man, I think it definitely start in the house for sure. For sure, they need a little bit more love, because a lot of things they just doing
that's it.
Like, it's just screaming. I ain't getting that
for sure.
They might need an old lady too.
And
a couple old ladies that cook for them.
For sure. It's just showing a lot of emotions too, man. Because I know we just had a recent shooting at a bar here, and it was like the article read that the shooting started over an argument, and it's like, bruh, like, you had to pull a gun over an argument. Like, that's just emotional, bro. Like, at the end of the day, like, if y'all arguing,
You learn how to
back
talk as
in,
men. They don't know how to talk as men. So we had issues.
Yeah.
They don't know how to. Okay, cool, and we can still be heating.
Yeah.
Like we may not hash it out. We may not hash it out through a phone call. It don't mean like I gotta kill you. Bro.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
it don't mean that. Like it just mean like, bro, we ain't fucking with each other.
That's it.
Like, but I mean, if a nigga, sorry.
Oh no, this is Southern flow. This is Southern flow, bro.
Nah, it's a difference. It's more as a value. Like somebody, some money want take something from you. Mess with
ain't
your
no
kids,
blood been
with your-
shed.
like, come on, man.
It's,
It's certain things that you do probably have to take the next step on. On certain things, but it's just the environment, man. This environment is terrible, bro. It's a terrible environment to be a young person with no direction. Yeah. So people that got jobs and careers and they might be in the military or things like that, they got something going on. Yeah. It's cool. Those in a cool place because it's not like it's the worst place to live. It's pretty cost efficient compared to where you go be at. It's accessible. You can get to Atlanta, to all the airports, Panama City,
located.
Anywhere. So it's not that it's a bad place to live, but I don't think it's a lot of opportunities for young people in general. The jobs are catered to old people. You see old people working in young people jobs.
They still working at McDonald's.
Like, come on now, like so. What can you really? We don't have any entertainment this specifically in the Black community. We got a place like the Sugar Shack. That's a place, but outside of that, we don't have anything for anybody. So what is it there to get into? Like we got a place like the Plum. Other places, but we talking about places that cater to the culture. The culture that we in.
And just in short, I'll insert art folk, man. Like, we hosted an event, like Beats and Hues, mixture of, having the DJ and she's playing like between house music, hip hop music, a little ratchet music, but it's a vibe. And then we have an interactive space where, people in there, they community, they coloring, they painting. Some people putting Legos together, sipping some wine. It's not like a turn up, but it's turned up, but it ain't like, it ain't crunk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just a nice vibe, man. And I know a lot of times, like the younger crowd, they looking for like that stimulation. Like I want to be. Yeah. And it's like sometimes you should just come just relax. Sometimes you need to just relax.
Yeah, that's what it is. Too much tension, too much.
Like you said, they overstimulated.
Overstimulated, like that's what it is, bro. They overstimulated. That's a great word to use, like, cause I know me, I get overstimulated sometimes. I just be like, man, I'm.
Sometimes we want to move. We do want to move around, bro. Sometimes we do. But now that's one thing that entrepreneurship journey does for you though. You moving and grooving, if I'm overstimulated, I might, I need to go do some posts, my lady, she like, what you doing? I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm doing something, and we do have to learn how to like drive that energy, to something that's productive, something that, can be creative, man. And that's another thing with art folk, just like really showing people like we're all artists in a way. How do you express yourself? Find that outlet, and you gotta want to do it. You can't be just scrolling on social media all day, hoping that gem just gonna drop on you.
That's the thing about entrepreneurship. Nothing, you gotta work for everything you get.
Yeah.
'Cause like, especially if it's your brand, like nobody's gonna. I don't expect anybody to come in my business and work hard.
He had to show me that about the podcast, man. Because when we first started, I'm like, bruh, I'm telling him, my vision. I'm telling a couple of more people my vision, but Breeze had to tell me like, bruh, ain't nobody gonna feel it how you feel because it's your vision. It's for you. God put that vision in your head. He didn't put it in my head. He didn't put it in his head. That is your vision. That's for you. So like you said, you can't expect,
And you can't take it personal either when they don't.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. Like you said, you just assume family gonna take the road. Like, hey. And granted, it's gonna be some people from the family that ride, and that's down. But it may be some people that you just knew like, oh, cousin, I'm coming. Yeah, cousin, like.
Not like that. No, that's. What I learned is people like to be attached to things that bring them credibility. So I know with people versus like I said, like I got family friends that will support me when I was in the league that don't now in my business. And what it was cool for people to be like, hey, bro, that's Quez. That's my nephew. He played for the Cowboys. Versus that's Quez. That's my nephew. He own a food truck. Which one sound more?
Yeah, appealing to the masses.
Okay, so that's what people love to be attached to things that they can get credibility from. Like instant credibility, instant gratification that they don't have to work for.
Yeah.
I want it now.
Yeah, like it's okay. That might be your cousin, but what are you doing? Type deal. So
for sure.
it be for sure. So with my business, I feel like I get the chance to serve.
Okay.
So that's one of the things
Serving
people
the
think.
community.
So I'm still in the community. I'm showing the young ones, like you can start a business, you can make money, you can support your family, you can do it the right way. Everything don't have to be a finesse, it don't have to be, and no shade to anyone that's in making ends meet for their family, like or the people that they take care of. But there's certain risk that come with certain things, and the people that's into that, they know the risk that come with it. They really need to accept the consequences. For me, it was certain things that was just when I was trying to transition and figure out things at the ball, it was certain things that I just couldn't tap into, certain directions I wasn't willing to go into just because I know what comes with certain things and never wanted to have a setback. So I took time to really, which now is making sense. My business is really making sense for me. Like when I first started, I know I worked the first 6 to 8 months, didn't make no money. No money. Like why am I doing? I'm getting chicken. Didn't know how to cook. Didn't know how to light a fire. Didn't know how to do nothing. I'm getting chicken. I'm fucking it up. I'm fucking up my budget. Like everything. Like and versus now is making sense. Yeah. But if I didn't put that work in on the front end, because you can't skip the steps in entrepreneurship. Like it's simple. You can't skip the steps.
We know.
That the whole get rich quick. It happens for some people. Like we ain't saying it don't, but for the large majority of us, bro, you got to put the work in. You have to. You cannot skip the steps. That's the. Even with me, I do all the, and I don't like to do it. Not saying I don't like to do it, but I do all the. I'm very hands on in my business, very hands on. So I make sure I do all the quality control. I do all the cleaning, like, and that's where I'm at with it now. Just because I wanted to be dead right. And the people, and I make sure the people that's with me now, they watch to make sure that they know what I'm doing. I'm a little bit better at delegating, like I said, getting people to do what I need them to do, without feeling like I need to go behind them or micromanage and stuff like that. But yeah.
Dope. So we got some merch, man, and you know, it's something light because we definitely gonna do some more work on the back. Again, like I said, man, I'm so appreciative for Marquez to come in, tap in, and build with us, man. So we just wanted to grace him with, you know, one of our sponsors, which is Gum. You know, we got a couple pieces, some flavors for you, man. We appreciate you, bro. And man, just in short, man, Gum is just all about taking a bite out of life, bro. Taking a bite out of life, finding your flavor. You know, a lot of times people say, well, my flavor is strawberry, or my flavor is, nah, what's your life's pursuit? You know, that's your flavor. Like, what do you put here for? Like, are you willing to put in the work to find that, you know, my saying is, you know, God didn't give anybody everything, but he gave everybody something. And are you going to take on the task to find it? You know what I'm saying? Some people find it early, you know what I'm saying? But you got to find your journey. You know, you got to go out and build. And, bro, you've done that. You've been an inspiration to a lot of people. And so yeah, bro, we appreciate you for taking a bite out of life, man. And, you know, and being that guy for, you know, for your city, you know, like I say, a lot of them young boys and, you know, the et ceteras, you know.
No, they come around, man. They come to my business all day. I'm always, so with me, no matter who, I'm always trying to speak something positive. Like, even if it's something quick, bro, like on some be safe site shit.
Give them some games, some quick games.
Even if it's be safe, like, for real, like, bro, because I don't.
People not telling you that.
Be safe, like, but just wanting them. I be really wanting the best for us, like, for real, like people that. Not that I don't want the best for everybody, but especially people that look like me.
Yeah,
like,
just hit home.
Like the Kyron Lacey thing, like I was in the funk for a few days, like just seeing it because I've been in that space before. I've been right in that space before, like dealing with it, the pressures, not knowing, because he didn't know. He didn't know how it was gonna shake out. It could have shaked out really bad for him.
For sure.
Like, even worse than like the Henry Ward situation. But I mean, just it's a blessing for me to be in the space that I'm in now. Being in a space like that, and then being in a space like this, being able to go through it, get through it,
and talk about it.
Yeah, man, we all go through stuff, bro.
Grow, baby.
For sure. I advise anybody to get counseling that need counseling. Need to talk to somebody, young black men, young black women, anybody. Go talk to somebody, man, because the weight of the world do get really, really heavy sometimes.
For sure.
And we got to hear it from a different perspective.
That's a good game right there, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all know it's the Southern Flow podcast, man. Trey B. Loomis Branch, you know, we got my boy Marquez White in the building, bro. I just appreciate everybody for tapping in. Stay tapping in. You know, we back in your face, giving you some game for your brain, man. And we just appreciate you for coming through, bro. For sure, bro. It's just like that, bro.
And in that, man, you know, we talked about accountability, you know, perseverance, determination, you know, willpower, entrepreneurship. You know, I always say entrepreneurship is a life journey. We all entrepreneurs in a way, because you got to be responsible for your life. You know, just all those magnificent things, those great things, man. Y'all set your price, live your life. Y'all go check out Goat Wingz, bringing you the most flavor. What's the hottest flavor right now, Marco? What's the hottest flavor right now?
Man, you can't go wrong with any of them.
Okay, yeah. Come get all the flavor. yeah. Yes, because we definitely gonna double back. It's more to talk about, man. We couldn't even get it all in. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. So until the next episode, we'll see y'all. Peace.